How's it going, everyone? This is Daniel. In this video, we are going to be talking about Tesla, the overall stock market, why we sold off aggressively to the downside today. We also going to be talking about what to expect for Tesla, the overall stock market. We have some important economic data coming out tomorrow. We're going to be talking about that. And I'm also going to go over why Tesla stock was cut from S&P 500 ESG index. We're going to be talking about that in detail. Also go over Elon Musk Twitter deal, latest updates. We're going to be talking about that in this video. So make sure you stay tuned. We're going to cover all this important information coming up. As you can see over here, we have Tesla that's sitting at $709.81, down 6.8%. We tried to recover a little bit in the morning. Unfortunately, we got rejected and we sold off to the downside throughout the day. So not only is Tesla stock selling off to the downside, we have the overall stock market also that went down aggressively. As you can see, we have Apple, Microsoft down 4.7%, Google down. Yesterday we had a pretty good day for semiconductors. As you can see, they're down. Nvidia down 6.82%, Amazon down 7.16%. But we have some important earnings numbers that came out for Target. As you can see, Target down 24.93%. So we saw aggressive sell-off. So yesterday we talked about some of the comments that the Fed Chair Jerome Powell stated. He said that he is going to raise interest rates as high as possible to kill inflation and to control the inflation that we're experiencing in the current moment in the economy. So that is a relatively bearish comment that he said, but yesterday we saw a rally that happened even though he said those statements. But right now we're digesting this specific comments, and also we have some important economic data that coming out tomorrow. So we have initial jobless claims coming out 8:30 a.m. Continued jobless claims, existing home sales also is going to be coming out at around 10 a.m. So that is going to be an important economic data that we need to be watching out for in the short term. When you look at the overall price action for the overall stock market, as you can see, we gave back some of the gains that we made the last 4 days. Unfortunately, we are getting closer to the lows that we made a few days ago, which is around 385. We have a pretty solid support around 380, but we'll see how the overall stock market is going to be reacting. As I mentioned, this sell-off was across the board. Every sector in the stock market is down. We have a little bit more aggressive sell-off that happened in spite of what some retail stocks announced their earnings today before the market opened, like Target, as you can see, is down 24.93%. But now let's talk about Tesla stock. Tesla stock finished at $709. We have some important updates to talk about Tesla. One of them being that Tesla being cut from the S&P 500 ESG index. In spite of that news, we have Elon Musk that tweeted different things about how he does not like that Tesla was not included on the S&P 500 ESG index, as you can see over here. Despite Tesla doing more for the environment than any company ever, we have this meme. What is an ESG score? It determines how compliant your business is with the leftist agenda. This is the meme that he posted. And he talked about political attacks on me will escalate dramatically in the coming months. Exxon is rated top 10 best in the world for environment, social, and governance, ESG by S&P 500. While Tesla did not make the list, ESG is a scam, has been weaponized by phony social justice warriors, and he tagged them, has lost their integrity. And that's basically the tweets that he tweeted in spite of the news being broken out that Tesla was not included in the ESG S&P 500 ESG index. He also talked about, in the past, I voted Democrat because they were mostly the kindness party, but they have become the party of division and hate, so I can no longer support them and will vote Republican. Now watch their dirty tricks campaign against me unfold. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think about Tesla being removed from the S&P 500 ESG index? But let's talk about now an update about the Twitter Elon Musk deal that is currently on pause right now. But we have a latest update that Twitter stated that they're committed to enforcing Elon Musk's $44 billion buyout deal, even as he appears to hesitate. We're going to be watching a detailed breakdown video of exactly what they talked about. What could this potentially mean for Elon Musk and also for Twitter in the long run? And I'm going to come back and then we're going to be talking about detailed breakdown of Tesla stock and also Twitter.
Essentially what we're seeing here is Elon Musk almost backing away from the deal to a degree, not necessarily coming out and saying that he's backing away. He has said before that he will stick to it. Twitter now is really telling him that he's going to stick to it at the original price that they agreed upon, saying that more or less that they want their shareholders to vote in favor of this. The whole idea there being that Twitter, it seems, suspects that Musk is trying to lower that sale price from the current $42.40, the $44 billion that we had discussed originally, from there to something less. And his whole way of doing this is discussing the so-called bot issue. Now, just to give you an idea, bots are a thing that Twitter purposely makes. There's an application programming interface, or API, that is available to users or to companies to create bots. And a lot of bots are, believe it or not, very helpful. You can use them for things like getting the latest sports scores. Sometimes they update you on natural disasters or alerts for different emergencies. But there are some, obviously, that are used by cyber criminals or more nefarious people looking to scam folks out of their crypto wallets, out of cryptocurrency, their own regular currency, their private information, things along those lines. And that appears to be Musk's big issue. Remember, there were a few crypto scams going on pretending to be Elon Musk. And then, oh yeah, there was that kid who set up that bot, a 19-year-old who had set up that bot that would track Elon Musk's jet. He was none too happy about that, tried to get the kid to leave well enough alone, offered him $5,000. The kid said, no, give me a Tesla and maybe a job. And Elon Musk kind of went radio silent there. So you can see where he may have this issue and why this exists. But, you know, in the grand scheme of things, there's no way, regardless of how much he wants to get rid of bots, that he will ever get rid of bots, because there is that application programming interface where bots are a good part of Twitter in a good sense. But even if they do away with an API, there are still bots on other social media platforms that don't even offer that, like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. So there's no real way for him to do away with bots. And, you know, his big contention here is that it's not actually less than 5% of Twitter users that are bots, the way Twitter tells it. We had a Twitter CEO, Parag Agrawal, basically explaining how they go and got to that number. Elon Musk saying, no, open that up to the public. Everyone should be able to see. And we just don't necessarily know where we're going to end up here. But it really is just kind of a back and forth at this point. And as much as he says he wants to get rid of these bots, it's just not going to happen.
Well, and not only that, he says he wants to get rid of the bots. He says this is why he might be negotiating the deal. I keep coming back to Matt Levine of Bloomberg's column from yesterday, where he wrote about this issue, as he has been throughout this whole thing. Mm-hmm. And he said, quote, I think it is important to be clear here that Musk is lying. The spam bots are not why he's backing away from the deal. So initially, when he talked about wanting to take over Twitter, in part to reduce the bots, fine, that was one of the reasons. But clearly this is a red herring.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing that he wanted to do was loosen up speech on there. And for whatever reason, he believes that, you know, speech is a problem on Twitter when, you know, I mean, actuality, it's not. It's Twitter using its own free speech to moderate content that it thinks that users want to see. And by the way, advertisers want to see, because, you know, I feel like Tide doesn't want to have an ad next to some neo-Nazi, right? That's probably not good for Tide, and so not good for Twitter. And so that's what Twitter does, and that's their First Amendment right to do that. But Elon Musk seems to think that it should be opened up totally, and then doing that will allow for an even greater kind of conversation. I don't know if you've ever been on Twitter. Conversations on there are already awful. So I don't know how much more open you can get it before it just descends into like a pit.
Well, him complaining about free speech won't get him out of the deal, whereas maybe complaining about the spam bots.
Well, $1 billion, maybe. $1 billion.
As you can see over here, we have Tesla stock that is sitting at $709.81. Unfortunately, we gave back some of the gains that we made the past few days, right? So we are sitting at the lows was 680. We had a resistance price point level, which was around $750 to $760. We rejected that. Right now, we are potentially getting closer to the lows that we made a few days ago. So for the next few days, definitely watch out for some important economic data that can affect the overall stock market. If the overall stock market dips, we might see Tesla stock also going down with it. But as I mentioned, tomorrow we have initial jobless claims data coming out early in the morning, so we'll see how that is going to be affecting the overall stock market. If the numbers are as expected, if there's no surprise, we might see maybe a slight bounce. But based off of what Jerome had to say yesterday, things are looking a little bit shaky at the current moment. So what are some of the key price point levels to watch? So we got support at $680. We have it for breakdown. We might potentially see $650, but that is like the worst case scenario. I think we can hold above $700 by the end of the week. That's just my personal opinion and my guess. But if things go south, we can break down below it. And if we bounce back up, you might see Tesla being back up again to around $720 to $750 within a matter of a few days if we get a very good bounce tomorrow. So when you look at the overall stock market too, it has given up a very, very big gain that it made. We talked about that. Okay, everything seems kind of nice right now because it seems like we've bounced. We got some positive news that's coming out left and right. And unfortunately, the volume was also declining when we were going higher and higher. As you can see today, the volume increased a little bit at the bottom, and then we sold off aggressively. We gave back some of the important gains that we made the last 3 days. So the key price point level to watch is around 385 to 380. Another key price point level to watch is going to be the support at around 379. So just keep in mind the important economic data coming out tomorrow. If we have a continuation, we might break lower. If we bounce back, we might see a decent bounce close to 395 for tomorrow. So that's just a short-term price prediction for the overall market. That's gonna be it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notification bell if you want free stocks. Check out the links in the description box below. But I'll catch you guys on another video. Have a wonderful day.